coming in, any other cities coming in, any retailers particularly, with the proper supply chain management, it has helped more of trading houses or small manufacturers, MSMEs to grow. Because supply chain management and logistics has increased their domain of customer base. And that always happens, and that is the need. I think this is the important aspect, that between the manufacturer and the end user, what is important is this logistics supply chain management. So more it gets an efficiency, more it will get a technology, more it will become a robust, more it will become a cost effective. I think better will be the trade, higher will be the trade, and greater will be the margins. Last couple of years, thanks to the Union Minister, Mr. Gati, who is championing this cause, is promoting e-mobility like very enthusiastically and very strongly. I think there also, the transport people think have know it better. Per kilometer cost comes down very drastically. There are certain challenges as of now, which may be of the battery cost, which may be of the charging point, but I think this is what we have to overcome. If we can overcome, we can prepare the lithium-ion batteries indigenously. If there can be enough infrastructure, like we have the infrastructure of petrol pumps, there can be enough charging infrastructure. There can be a standardization of the battery, so that you did not wait for charging the same batteries at one place, but you can just go pick up some other batteries, leave your batteries from the charging there and go. The day this will happen, or like for the railways you have, a dedicated electric lines are there for the railway engines. Similarly, on a major highways, suppose there can be that kind of lines, like there used to be tram earlier. The mobility can be that way of the heavy trucks also. So that can also bring down the cost. And I think the major crux, when you target for the $5 trillion economy, when you look at India, or maybe $1 trillion when you talk about Maharashtra, it all will boil down to ultimately reducing this cost. This cost will also have a better impact there. This will also make many businesses viable. Even if you look at MSME sector alone, which contributes very largely to our economy, like it is the second largest employment generating sector after agriculture. It contributes almost to our GDP also in a great way, almost near 50%. It also contributes to the export in that way. And I was told that even if the cost of this logistics brought down by 10%, then almost it gives a 5 to 7% increase in the export value also. So I think major challenge for us today is is about this technology interventions which can bridge this gap, creating infrastructure which is already set a pace, but that pace has to continue, and there has to be better synergies with that. Like if there are ports or minor ports developed, then there has to be connections from the ports inside. Otherwise, ports are there, but then earlier there was a use like in the port only. Like even today also in Bangladesh, they say for a container to release it takes almost 15 days or 1 month. That kind of process there. So this will have to be properly planned. And of course, thinking about MSME again, how MSME can benefit or look at this as an opportunity. So I think there are many sectors where there is a good, as I said earlier, it may be technology, it may be creating the capacities of the warehousing, it may be starting a new kind of trade in the startups. as we recently heard that there are more startups after health in the transport sector. Similarly, I think the startups are coming up in a large number in agriculture sector also, because agriculture is one sector where we need to concentrate. Because agriculture is one sector where 50% of our people are employed. Agriculture provides employment to the 50% of the total employable people, but its contribution to GDP is only 5%. This is quite disproportionate. And that is the main reason why the farmers' conditions are not good today. I think if we can bridge this, it can really help. And this can happen only with, creating better supply chain management models, which can be product specific, which can be region specific, and which can also use the IT and other technologies, so that there is a good parity about the pricing, valuation, quality, and other stuff. This will not only help to develop, we talk about the export all the time and its impact on the economy, but I think for a country like India, even for a perishable good, even the interstate transport becomes smoother. That also will help in a big way to the agri-trade here, agri-processing industry here. Because though we are number one, number two in many fruits, but we import the same fruits also in a big way. We are also blessed with a good consumption capacity. And I think this capacity is growing day by day. So our domestic market demand is also good. So this in a way is a better opportunity. We are, exports are needed to enhance our GDP, to speed up the economy. But at the same time, we also have a huge domestic demand. So we can cater to the both. And at both the places, this sector plays an important role. And very importantly, as in other sectors, I think the skilling and training is largely required in this sector too. Sir is from the transport sector. You can see there are transport sector is a majorly run by the unorganized this thing. So I think the private sector contributes to almost 90% of the passenger transport in India. I think for the cargo it should be much more, but almost 90% passenger transport within the country by road is done by the private operators. And very few of them are really organized. They are getting organized faster, they are also changing their, as I said, they also need to adapt to the technology. Now we have a red bus, we can do the booking for them. That convenience can, get more people to come to the roads. If we have better road, better convenience of booking your goods, another thing, I think that's how that sector will get a boost. And this is happening to the passenger, this thing. I'm not much aware about the cargo scenario, but I think this technology intervention has to happen in that sector also, so that it will further smoothen the process and overall enhance the impact to the small trader or the farmer or perishable goods sector. Having said so, I will only sum up with few things. As I said, I am purposely avoiding to give you the statistics, but by summation, I just will need to say, yes, this is an important sector. This impacts every business, every aspect. And as we see, the technology interventions are required. Similarly, also in the logistics supply chain, now the latest thing is about the clean environment. As we are committed, by 2070 we will be the zero emission. Everywhere there is a talk now in other European countries also, or US also, it's not only the supply chain management but the last mile. At the end of it, it has to be clean. It has to be, it should not adversely impact the environment. So that is the new thing which is coming up in this entire supply chain management now. We have to be concerned about that also. Whether your carbon emissions or whether your total energy for disposal of the labels or whatever the last thing is remaining at the packets, how you are going to do it. So right from now we also need to think about it. So keeping that environment in mind, that can be an additional aspect in the coming days. The skilling and training is another most important aspect that needs to be focused, because not only for enhancing the efficiency of this sector, because this sector has also a lot of employment potential. So you have to have the people who are employment ready, and if the trained people will be there, I think the overall efficiency of the sector will go up. The cost will come down. So for that, training and skilling is equally important. If these two aspects we cover, I am sure with this, our all businesses and the overall impact on our economy is going to be very positive. Government, I think, is doing its bit. We have already started creating a great infrastructure. Their new logistic policy is also in place, and the first thing is on. But I think that this is a very positive aspect. But now this needs to be supported by the private players also. I think every time we cannot just depend on the government to do the things and it will happen. As there is a big challenge of employment to the large and vast young population of India, I think there is a great opportunity in this sector also to start new startups or new businesses, or to look at their business in a different way, to create the models which will be more efficient, more environment friendly, and can be more niche. They can take their product to the different level. I think they can get a better valuation for that. Otherwise, we have seen, we always did people throw tomatoes, but when you go to buy a tomato puree, you pay under your nose. So this kind of thing can all be, if the young entrepreneurs come into this, properly plan their stuff, where to buy, when to buy, how to store, how to process, how to transport, how to market. If all these aspects which falls under this subject are taken care, and if there is a good, there can be more institutes like MIT to come forward to offer a student this kind of course, that should be easily available for them. There has to be more education on that front. I think there the state governments and the people should take the lead, because you need to educate your youngsters in a better way. So they also need some guidance what to do next. So that has to be properly, what are the opportunities lying ahead in the next maybe 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the line, which can offer good potential for at least a decade or two, should be told to them. If like the metro man is sitting here, they are creating the metros, there can be certain things which can, once this network is created of the metro or a railway, how can they support the small entrepreneurs? That should be told to them well in advance. There has to be more such outreach programs. When you talk to them, look, this is what we are going to create, and this is how the advantage can be taken. So that can reduce the time gap. Because then I think, we all hear it's happening, but sometimes you get tired, even but I think if we do this way, if there can be, as Mr. Bimanu also said, instead of working in silos, if you all come together, there can be different stakeholders coming together, talking about it. There can be more such kind of programs happening, more people getting involved in this. There can be some physically not possible to meet always, but with the help of Education Institute or government department or the association like this of a particular sector, if we can have more online such kind of programs, because that's going to be a big task to mobilize this kind of huge youth force available with us. It's not easy. See, if you go to the rural area today, I work very closely with the farmers, so I know there is no job on one side, but you don't get a labor at the farm. You tell me a single farmer who says, he has extra labor, or he is getting labor at time. And wages are not, wages are also good today. The 500 rupees per day, minimum 400 to 500 rupees per day for a male laborer, and 250 to 300 for a female laborer. But you will not get. And it's not skilled also. If there are skilled person can contribute more, better. And there can be so much, they say 50% people are still there. They get their employment there, but they don't work for 300 days or 250 days or 200 days. And you, at the other end, then you say there are huge losses. Why farmers suffer? Because there are huge losses for him also. So to save this is one example of the farming, but I think this holds true about every aspect. Even in transportation, in the warehousing, you name all the sectors connected to this subject and you will find there are a lot of gaps in all the places. And what needs to be done today, let's have a organizations like what Kishor is running, or the associations like them, or even for sectors like MEDC. We need to take some initiative. We need to create such platforms where youngsters can get a good guidance. What lies ahead, how they can build, who can mentor them. See, we need to create a pool of proper mentors also. If somebody wants to start and he doesn't know what to do, there should be someone to tell him how it can be done. So at least the associations or bodies like MEDC should have we have started preparing a list of mentors for different sectors which were identified. But we need to do that. And I think that can be the most important aspect of this, creating mentorships, doing the handholdings of the startups, skilling them, training them, doing some programs, making them aware about the opportunities lying ahead. Then I think we'll be doing a proper justice to kind of infrastructure we created. Because see, infrastructure needs money and it takes time. But after it completes its time, then we cannot start looking for and helping people to do. So I think this is what I wanted to say. And I've already got a hint that I'm running out of time. So since I delayed in the morning, I don't want to delay further. So with this, I will close here and I'm open for any questions or any queries. Thank you so much.